1975, The Pill, Loretta Lynn, makes a song about birth control which was considered taboo at the time. 1981, Ozzy Osbourne has upside down crosses on his album cover. 1988, NWA comes out with Straight Outta Compton, album said to be overly violent and glorifying to the obstruction of the law. Music is the universal language. It can evoke all different kinds of emotion. Sadness, happiness, excitement, inspiration. However, through all the positives, the music, as long as music's been around, it's always been surrounded by controversy. Hi, I'm Marquis Scott, and in this documentary we're going to be discussing what freedoms the music artist has with his lyrics.
Yes, I do, because it's his own record. He's getting paid for what he does, and the radio takes off bad language anyways.
Okay, an artist has the right to say whatever they want to say on their album. Everyone has their freedom of speech, and they should have the right to say whatever they want to say.
Well, personally, I think no, because a lot of their material is not like suitable for kids. So, no.
I personally think they should be able to, and it is the parents' responsibility to hold the kids not to watch something that would be inappropriate and allow them to watch what is appropriate for their age.
See, it all goes back to rights.
Okay, the freedom of speech is in the First Amendment, probably the most famous amendment of the 27 amendments. It was in the Bill of Rights, and it was considered one of the most important freedoms that are listed in the First Amendment: freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of petition, freedom of assembly. Because during the Revolutionary War and when they were colonists, they could not speak. Anything, if you criticized the king, you could be imprisoned, you could be fined, and they believed that freedom of speech was probably one of the most important. Over the years, freedom of speech has undergone many different forms. For example, during Vietnam, when protesters burned the American flag, they were arrested, and when they were brought to trial, they said that was their freedom of speech. And in many cases, the courts agreed. Nazi speeches. We had an American Nazi party in this country, and they would give speeches, and people would be upset, but they said this is freedom of speech. Sometimes people do things, and then they try to claim freedom of speech, and the courts disagree with them. But freedom of speech, one of the most important freedoms in the Constitution, in the Bill of Rights.
Now I go window cleaning.
Censorship has always been a part of the media. It started off as if someone deemed any material inappropriate for whatever reason, that whole segment would be trashed. Back in 1941, George Formby's song "When I'm Cleaning Windows" was completely banned from the BBC's network. However, now that technology has progressed, we have technology to censor specific words, phrases, and areas of the song rather than remove the whole thing. In 1985, the Parents Music Resource Center pushed for the labeling of explicit music with a sticker warning the buyer of the record's explicit content. This was the predecessor to what we have now, the parental advisory sticker.
There's a famous talkie queen, she looks a flapper on the screen, she's more like 80 than 18. When I'm cleaning windows.
Discussing the freedoms the music artist has with his lyrics is precisely a battle between the rights and responsibilities. In order to form an accurate, non-biased opinion, we must look at two different things from two different perspectives. The two things being the rights and responsibilities, and the two perspectives being the music artist and the music listener. To be blunt, because of the First Amendment, the American music artist has full freedom with his lyrics. To limit his lyrics would be in direct violation of the First Amendment. However, as he gains popularity, maybe has #1 hit, it then becomes his responsibility to tell those who listen to him how to lead their lives. Morally, sure, it's the right thing to do, make music that doesn't offend anybody, for everybody to enjoy. But in reality, he signed up to be in the entertainment industry, not to be in the Big Brothers and Sisters program.
It all starts at home. Are you a father? No. You're not a father, okay? I'm a father of 5, okay? And my kids watch BET, they watch all kinds of videos, they watch movies, they listen to music, they like 50, they like Lil Wayne, they like, you know, whomever you can mention. But when my children look at this TV and see these videos and listen to this music, I don't care how impressionable it is. They know they ain't gonna have to deal with 50, they gonna have to deal with daddy. You dig what I'm saying? And I think that's where it starts. I think that we looking to the rappers, athletes, and actors to raise our children instead of doing it ourselves in our homes. That's honestly my thing. And I think that people are blaming hip-hop, you know, when they really should be looking in the mirror and blaming themselves. You know, how much more time could I have been there for my child? You know, I'm on a CD. He listened to me, but you know, I can't listen back. You know, I talk to him. He can't. I don't know what he getting from it. You do. You know what I'm saying? You know when he wake up and you see him dressed in a shirt you never seen him in before, and you know what I'm saying, you figure this could be the beginning of something, why don't you stop and why don't you talk to him about it? Ask him where he got that from. You know, if you don't do that, it's gonna grow into something bigger and bigger. You dig what I'm saying? The things that I say come from the life that I used to live. And this is like he said, a harsh reality that maybe most of you are fortunate enough to not to have ever dealt with.
Crispus Attucks died for it. It's the music artist's right to express himself. It's also the right of the listener and or parent of the listener to not listen to the music artist's expression at all. Is it the music artist's responsibility to make more universally appropriate songs? Or the listener and listener's parents to regulate what the child is hearing as they would what the child is watching? What do you think?